FXBros.
Good morning, we're back. It's Thursday morning, we got CPI and inflation rate coming out in a minute and some change, as you can see here. CPI, core inflation rate, and we got jobless claims. It's about to be a doozy. Let's see what we get. 5 seconds left, and news is released. I really would like to see a continuation on this bullish push back up to these highs from the sales we were just in April 1st. We would think that April 1st is a April Fool's joke. Let's see what the news is, right? Consensus still the same, 193, 183.9, 185. So people are working. That's what they're saying. More jobs are being created and being filled. We do see that. Got a continuation on the claims, initial jobless claims, so that hasn't dropped. Inflation rate has dropped from the previous a significant amount, from 2.8 to 2.4, and below the consensus. Core inflation rate, we're at a 3.1 to a 2.8, and we underneath the consensus. And CPI has a decrease, so look like we just reversing what we did. I mean, pulling back on tariffs and positive CPI numbers and inflation rates. Looking like the markets is liking that. We are going long to match it. Baby, give me some continuation. Let's see. Oh yeah. Calcium water revealed. There's a majority on our Texas test. Get to 62. Might not be. Starting to get big pullbacks after sweeping that high. I'm not sure we're going to come into sales off of this news, but the buyers are not as active as I would think. See what the dollar is looking like. Dollar selling off. March 18th, April 4th, February 20th, March 18th. Yeah, the dollar ain't been in the tightest correlation with the with AU. I know EU and the dollar has the closest negative correlation, but AU is next in line, and it's not. So basically, what I mean by that, we look at sales around, let's see, beginning of February, January 14th, beginning of February, we start seeing sales in the dollar. So we should see extreme buyers in AU. And we don't get that. I mean, we do see the buys right here, but it wasn't extreme. We get a lot of consolidation until we break out on April. So we was holding strong until we broke out on April 4th for extreme sales. And we didn't get that. We've been selling all. We didn't get no other kind of extreme move. And it wasn't nowhere near extreme as what the AU did. On the 4th, we had crazy sales, which we should have been buying all the way up here. But we hadn't yet. So if the dollar struggles to sweep this low and continues down to test down here, then it's a possibility we may be seeing some early sales in AU or more consolidation until we see any more potential setups. Let's see what the yen pairs are doing. Selling off along with the dollar. Yen index. Big bullish push off of news, I suppose. Gold is still doing its thing. Okay, yeah. Gold is back down. Gold is the undisputed winner of 2025 so far. We're in month 4. Gold has taken the first quarter. Gold won the gold. So USD sales, GBP slight sales, AUD slight sales. Not crazy. We're buying on the euro. Bitcoin back above 80,000. Ethereum still under 2K. XRP popped back above $2. stock market, we're going to see Tesla up 22, that's 220%. Son of a bitch. 220 to 270. $50. 20%. 220, roughly 200. Yeah, the market loves Tesla. The market loves Elon. The market loves Tesla. Yeah, they speaking future bullishly about them. It was right behind the ass, 18%. The White House paused new sales restrictions on NVIDIA's AI chips. Crazy. lane. Maybe it's trying to shake a few buyers out of their position or something. A bullish push, baby. Good ass community coffee. Come on, baby. It's early in the trading day. Need to get that bitch back above 90. 61.90. Got NYSE coming out in about 30 minutes. See if we get any kind of additional volume added after we get that news. I don't think nobody got earnings today. Let me check. What's today? Thursday. We got Love Sack. Earnings. I don't know what Love Sack. I think that's a furniture. I think it's like some kind of furniture or maybe a mattress company, I believe. Not 100% sure. And that's it. We got some heavy hitters tomorrow. Oh, BlackRock. Nice. BlackRock got earnings. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Bank of New York. Fast and all. That Bank of New York, I think that's not the same bank. I said it's the oldest first bank in the States. Nonetheless, we're back over here looking at the hourly charts. Let's see, we did sweep the high. It's a possibility we might come down and sweep the low before we continue up higher. It was the same scenario after we swept this high with this candle. This candle here was it. Yeah, see this candle, then we had another bullish push to take out 50% of the range. Then we sold off, didn't take out the low. We decided to trade back up yesterday morning. And now we are here on Friday morning. No, I'm tripping. This is yesterday. No, this morning. I'm thinking it's a 4 hour. Okay, yeah. So we swept the highs during London. London sold out, but couldn't sweep any lows of Asian session last night. Hopefully that holds true for London, and New York would maybe just want to get some of London's lower pricing at 61.50, and then we might push higher. So we might have to see about our entry and check on that to see if we are going to retrace another 30 pips because I don't want to be in that trade holding on that long. So we're going to keep an eye out and see how that 1 hour at least attacks this low of 73, 61, 73. And it's looking like it's want to attack that. That's what it's looking like it's going to do. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how far we dive down. Look at gold just being amazing. Gold is being amazing. What German 30 doing? Still holding. As Tues-Thurs S&P kind of lining up. VIX coming back down, so we lose volume in the markets. Nice pullback. Hopefully a wick to fill on the dollar, and we can get some more bullish movement on AU. NYSE is released in about 25 minutes. Nice 5-pip push. Nothing too exciting, but I respect the direction. 88. Come on, I'll take that. Got 24 minutes. The stock exchange opens, and hopefully we can see a little slight increase. But you got to be patient. Like, the market is going to create scenarios for you. You just got to be patient enough to wait for the right one. And that's the tricky part, because it's always a lot of scenarios, but you got to find the right one that's going to get you in the best position for the potential of the move. How much potential do you have? Like, putting an oak tree in a small ass box and is not giving its, opportunity to live up to that full potential. You gotta allow for the potential. If you don't see that high level potential happening, then chances are it's not gonna happen. And chances are you possibly need to be that trade along. Prime example, looking in hindsight. Yeah, one, roughly two, three touches at this bottom. No continuation lower. One check bar. We have bullishness, signs of bullishness here, signs of bullishness here, and then we get that taken out. Completely taken out. And not only did it take it out, but it actually took it out even once more with a wick. Sold off. It still couldn't break low. Another signs of bullishness and the high getting taken out. Yeah, high get taken out. Sold off. Next check still couldn't break the low. Now we get more bullish continuation. And as you can see, support is getting created and it's still not being broken. Support being created, still not being broken. Bullishness. And to add to that, the market already moved a significant amount. So when we look at that, 420 pips in the range. Shit, that was 420 pips, man. You get that. What day was this? Thursday last week? The Thursday last week? And then Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday last week, all the way to the following week of Sunday, 400 pips. Like, man, that's 2 days. So the market needs to give some of that back now. What it gave back so far is this 150. So that's 250. 250 pips already gave back. And it gave it back from Tuesday to Thursday. So 2 days. It gave back 200. Gave up 400 in 2 days. Gave back 200 in 2 days. And now this sale is currently sitting at 150 pips in profit when it was at 400 down here. So if you took profit down here, great. 400, 300, great. Up here, you kind of playing with fire. It should have been more. Let me get out the market. Possibly, I would say when these highs taken out, that's probably when you was getting nervous to take out the markets. Or you could have taken out when the lows wouldn't get broken. Or maybe you could look at this low as a break. And then the fact that we broke the low and touched this. So any of this range could have been a nice little exit scenario. Or just 5 to 10 pips above here, just so you ain't got to catch the whole full of this gap. You can catch the just like I said, a 5 to 10 pip range above that, so you for sure to get taken out on the sale. But nonetheless, highs breaking above here probably would have got you out. The fact that lows didn't get taken out the second time when market came down here and made, pretty much a more of a bullish trend to go back up. So thinking that potentially we might break this high, you could have gotten out. A third time could have gotten you out, but overall, if you didn't get out right here, getting out right here would have been justification enough, and that would have got you. So if you got out right here at these highs to break this, that would have got you 260. Still a sweet move. That's 260 from April 8th all the way from April 3rd. April 8th, April 3rd. April 3rd. That's that Thursday. Thursday last week, so Wednesday this week, so roughly a week. We back above 61.90. It's looking good. It's looking good. I mean, the dollar must be falling. Yes, it is. Are we selling wicks? Yes, we are. Should be good to go. Currently bullish. Currently bullish. Happy birthday to Dawn. Double homicide. Lord. Send us some. Come on, 62. Come on, 62. There we go. Do, 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 do. 62.2. We got 10 minutes before we get that NYSE action. It might be getting bullish push just in anticipation for some volatility in the stock market when that opens. Had a nice day yesterday. A lot of millionaires made, probably more over than once. You know, Tesla alone saw 22, 23% gain. But if you know, you know. Certain brokerages and accounts, trading instruments, platforms, yada yada, will give you certain amounts of leverage. And I know on an extreme level, when I was doing crypto futures, so like I said, it probably was extreme. I probably was pushing my account, but I had pretty much, I guess, a 10x potential gain on my moves. So if Bitcoin, if Bitcoin ever gained 10% in a day, then my account would double. You know, if I was going long on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin had that 100% gain or 10% gain, then I would gain 100% in that trade, whatever position I was in. And vice versa. If I was negative, you know, you would lose that. Blow your account pretty much. But yeah, with the right type of account size, let's say a person, and when I'm talking about millionaires created, like in a sense, yeah, it could be a person that's already up 1.2, but they ain't, you know, I mean, they're a millionaire. Don't get me wrong, yeah, you got an M. But I look at me personally, I don't know what they call it on dictionary on paper, but I look at a millionaire as a person that has in cash, and I guess you could say assets too, but I really don't like to look at. But yeah, real assets. Fuck it. I guess you could say assets because assets is cash in a sense, depending on how liquid it is. But yeah, assets and cash of $1 million and up. Now, if you got a house, a car, all this different shit, unrealized gains, nah. Real M is account balance, bank account balance, and the fucking art you got on your wall, and that gold Rolex you got on your wrist. Add all that up. Now you're $1 million. With that being said, a person who was up 600 bands could have took the risk on Tesla alone with a 200 to 23% gain yesterday. That's 220%. They could have took just 50 bands, would have made them $1 million. Like I said, you'd have had to been right, which stock market is hard to. We don't have a track record of people going short and creating, you know, an over an abundance of millionaires. Like it's more a millionaires created as the market grows, as stocks grow to new heights and spread off and split and downsize and do buyouts and buybacks of stock, all this type of shit. Um, you know, that's usually how millionaires are created in the stock market, not from short. We do have scenarios where people are making a shitload of money from short the market, but the market doesn't go down overall. We have pullbacks, we have recessions, we have market shocks and market, events that will cause the market to fall. But as far as a free fall for years and decades to where we can create a profitable market out of a failing market, no, it's just not the way the market's set up. So with that being said, if you know that, especially in the stock market, S&P alone and everything like that, just go long, dollar cost average, buy the dips, buy the pullbacks and go long. And eventually, with the right pullback, you can bet. Let's say if you do have 700,000 and you just fully aggressive and all you need really is a quarter mil or 100,000 to suffice your lifestyle, you can take that risk of $50,000 going long on a company like Tesla, something that's so heavily involved in economic, our economic stance. As far as the stock market control goes and the actual person who's running that company. It's just a lot of bullishness behind it right now. So stuff like that and NVIDIA and TSM and Costco, yada, yada, yada. All these companies are kind of poised to go bullish. So you rolling the dice, but you rolling the dice in the form of, I'm going to give you 10 rolls, but one of these holes you going to hit. And if you hit, you have the potential to 10x. Well, you got a 10x. So it's a question of, do you stay with your trade size? Because you can trade $50,000, lose 9 times, which is 450 grand, and hit once. And now you up 500 bands. You was on the down for 50, so you profit $50,000. You do that 10 times a month. That's $50,000 a month. It's not bad. Granted, it took $500,000 to do it. So that's not that's not smart. Nobody want to be making. Well, nah, yeah, that's not smart. Hell no. Unless if it was like a sure thing, and you know for sure there's no chances you could lose, like fucking government bonds or some shit. Yeah, putting 500 grand to make 50,000 is not great. Not great, but it's not bad though because it's not bad because 500,000. That's 10%. It's actually pretty good when you think about it. Yeah, that's pretty good. 10% in life. Yeah, that's pretty good. So in that scenario, that would work. But granted, I know a lot of people not about to be putting 10% on each trade. You know, that's kind of not being risk adverse. So you overall, as far as picking predictions and predictions on direction, you want to. Oh, we just had a market open in front of me and that pullback. So we're looking like, but you want to. You just want to if then this. Just if then this. Like if we go this low, let me see how high we should go. You know, if we go this low, we start printing smaller body candles. Chances are we might be going bullish. You know, we might be turning around. Not saying we're gonna continue bullish, but it's more of a pullback until we find our footing and find some type of ceiling that we can call a sell scenario. And when you're looking at the 4 hour, it takes time. Like we had the first pullback right here. We had it right here with the double top. That took Fridays all the way to Sunday, so you had to wait 3-4 days for that. Then we get another high rejection of that. That was on Monday. Then we get another high with multiple rejections. Double top right here with the sweep on Tuesday. So you only have to wait 2 days. Then we get a sell off. Now from that point, market just swept 2 double tops with these wicks. Wick here, wick here, wick here, wick here. Double top scenarios got swept. So we know the market has the potential to go higher, but it's struggling. But it does have the potential because even though we did create highs, double tops, it swept it. Even though we had the potential to create double tops, it swept it. And that was much faster than these 2 scenarios. This was a Friday to a Sunday and a Monday. This was a bam, bam. Thank you, man. But from that scenario, we had 3 lows that couldn't continue. And it's right around the price of, I'm going to say 59.50. So we had a wick rejection here. Price came all the way down with a big body. Should have continued, but if it was, then it was going to, but it didn't. Came back up, tested that area, those same highs, double top sweep, same thing as this, double top sweep, sold off. Third time is the charm, not in trading, but in the scenario. Third time was the charm. Market created another low, could not break through support. And here we see the bullish continuation, breaking this strong resistance here at 60.8, 60 point, 60 to 60.80, roughly that range. Broke through that, tested 50% of the previous good weekly range and a very high potential for a continuation to fill this clean traffic to the left. That's how we're going to play that. What will shut this notion down is just like I said, we had double bottoms. Not not really a lot of double bottoms, but we kind of do here. So I would say if the market trades all the way down here to 61.20 and closes, then yeah, we're probably not being biased. But until then, we might see some signs of consolidation. So what will cause the market to come back down is either that double top scenario in a sweep, and maybe we might see some sales, or now the fact that we are bullish. Not the fact that we are bullish, that we took out this strong resistance here on Monday and Tuesday. Now, wick extensions above are more looked as a potential for the market to continue to higher. When we're in sales and we get a wick extension past anything, or the market is poised to go lower, when we get a wick, that's more of like a sweeping for liquidity that we're selling off. But when the market is bullish and we get these wicks, like the same scenario where the wick took out this high, this candle took out these two wicks, double top, that wick took out. That scenario doesn't play when the market is going bullish. And you won't know that until we take out a significant structure, which we did here on Wednesday. But we didn't know that was going to happen until it happened. You know, we do see the market rejecting these lows 3 times. That's a, some kind of clues we could add to that, but nobody knows what the market is actually going to do. And hence why we see such a big body candle to push through this strong area. So that's another clue. If you could have traded this, you could have bought down here in expectation. You could, and really for all these candles, 1, 2, 3, in expectation for, if we're going to break this structure, it's going to be a big body candle. If it doesn't, if this candle would have came up here and closed on here, get out of there and buy it. Because now we have a high potential that the market is not trying to go as bullish as we thought it was. And it's just trying to get people into a scenario and fake people out. And we're going to get another crazy sell into Panda. That could have happened if maybe Trump would have held his word on this tariffs. That potentially could have happened. But they're moving the market around and just favor the dollar. The dollar has to be the strongest. Just like the U.S. economy has to be the strongest in their eyes. But nonetheless, we did see this bullish push. So now all wicks popping above the previous candle is more looked at as a bullish indication that the market is in continuation in that trend. If we start to see bottom, trade up, bottom, trade up, bottom, and then a wick rejection to the bottom, yes, that could be looked at as a continuation lower, but we created support. So now we already bullish. So now you got to be looking at that more as a sweep lower to continue high, especially in this scenario right here. We had a big body candle sell off and no continuation lower. Easily could have continued to fill his wick, but no continuation lower. Like that's the prime example of when you want to say, look at these big body candles. They had no problem selling off. So why this one did? Why this one did? You got to ask yourself those questions. And when you see that, you will want to expect. I could say like this candle right here should have had another extension so where this candle could have closed below this or this. But it didn't. And it did that for a reason because it wanted to tell a story. And sometimes the story is full of lies. It's creating a story of lies. That's why you got to kind of just continue on with the story and read it. Don't do too much overanalyzing on what the story told you. But yes, there is truth in that, following what the story has to say to prep you for the future. But overall, it's best to just keep reading and keep pushing. You get more market data by letting the market play out versus harping on what it did. Even though history repeats itself, it's more of a rhyme than a repeater because that's beautiful music. Think about it, songs was just hooks. It would kind of be boring, right? Just repetitive. That'd be kind of boring. All right, studio is popping. Trying to get in that bitch again tonight. Before we get out of here, let's see what the stock market did, and it's giving it all back. Giving it all back. Where it's going to? We'll see if it's crypto. Right now, it's looking like it's gold and the euro. Looking like gold. People are putting their money abroad. That's what it's looking like. Taking that out of stock market. That was a flash buy. As you can see, gap down. Everything gapping down. Call that we get a bearish candle. It's a dark shadow, right? What they call it that? Lift it. That's not all short. Cool. Lift that over. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up. It was good. It was good to see. We're gonna wrap this thing up. And we'll at least put an update to see what its 4-hour close is, because I want to see if it closes above 50%. We haven't had a candle do it yet. That's some liquid projections above there. We'll see if we're gonna respect it or we're gonna check it. All right, we'll update it in the chat. Until then, we are out. Peace out.